Oh, Denmo.
The king in the know!
90% of the kids who go here come here because of him.
Jack Denmo inspired me to come to McMaster.
Everybody's got to get way more strong!
My name is Jack Denmo. Hit that like button.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Jack Denmo Show. Today I'm joined by my good friend, Ben Bankus. He's actually the top-rated comedian in Canada, and it just so happens that this is the top-rated podcast in Canada. So it's
wow. I can see that because there's not a lot of your competitors. Like if you go Google top podcasts in Canada, it's just like CBC Gem presents Becoming Trans, or like, you know, it's like all these podcasts that are just, who's listening to this?
completely non-existent, bro. There's no market here for pods, you know?
There's so much woke content that I don't think anybody watches. Like even if you go on Netflix right now, there's so many woke shows that I don't think anybody's really watching. Like something was like there was a movie that was like diving into the bias around algorithms. It's just like
Algorithms.
who's watching movies about a bias? Like I want to know about this bias.
Do you remember there was a whole market for weird shit, though? I used to see commercials, and it's like, you know, talking about ancient aliens and shit like that. Like, it was like a UFO channel, essentially.
Like the show Ancient Aliens?
No. There'd be this channel, and they'd be like, do you guys, like, ever wonder, like, what we haven't discovered yet? And then it shows some guy with a flashlight in a cave, really shaky footage of, like, you know, a
Is this like
spacecraft.
news footage from Kabul?
No. It's just pure bullshit. But there's a whole channel where all the content on that channel is related to UFOs and conspiracies.
Well, that's good.
Well, they
I
had
like that.
Yeah,
we
well,
need
this was
more
in the
of that.
space niche, bro.
Isn't it funny how there used to be like a conspiracy channel like on cable, and then now they just took it off because they're like, it's all true.
Was there a conspiracy channel?
I'm pretty sure. Well, there was like a UFO channel.
There was space. Yeah.
Space. There was a few, but a lot of it was just conspiracies and like you said, ancient aliens and shit. They don't want anybody watching any conspiracy videos right now. They want everybody to watch the news. They don't want us. They don't want them watching this podcast.
I haven't watched the news in like a year.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I don't have cable, but also it's fucking toxic, man.
It's all I watch, dude. It's the only thing to watch. What are you
Well, that's
talking
most
about?
of your content, actually. Yeah.
Well,
right?
I mean,
reacting to the news.
so, but if you don't watch the news, like your life's good. I don't want that.
Oh yeah. Well, then
I
you
don't
wouldn't be
want
a
my life to be
comedian,
good.
bro. Yeah.
No, I would just be walking around going, "What's going on?" I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. Whatever's happening right now in the country is just hilarious to me.
That's a good point, bro. I was thinking about that the other day. Like, as I get my life together, I become way less funny. I'm like, fuck, you know, maybe I should just go off the rails a little bit.
I feel like
again.
being funny, part of it is just like being uncomfortable at all times. You know what I mean? Like I rarely feel like, oh my God, I feel just like good right now.
Yeah, what made you decide that you wanted to be a professional comedian? You just
don't think I
liked being
did decide.
uncomfortable, you know?
I don't know. I don't think I did decide. I think I just did it because it was being funny is the only way to cope when you have a weird family. You know what I mean?
That word.
Like
cope.
my mom is like a fucking, well, now has dementia. She's in the seniors home.
Oh yeah.
But before that, she just had dementia and wasn't in the senior. No, she was she was a retired high school teacher. She was a high school teacher, whatever. High school
yeah.
teachers are weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
My mom's a teacher too, actually.
Really?
Bro. Yeah. Middle school though.
Middle school? Yeah. They're even weirder. Your mom's probably a pedophile, but whatever.
I don't think women can even be pedophiles.
Are you kidding me?
Is that a thing?
Didn't you see that thing in the States where the female teacher got arrested for fucking the kid, and the kid was like, she didn't give head well?
What?
And that was why he
No, I didn't see
got
that.
her arrested. Yeah, it happens. It happens.
Fuck, man. Yeah, I guess that's true. You know, people get hit by lightning and shit.
But yeah, and my dad's like a violinist, so I was just like, it was either I became funny or I just became like a complete loser.
Yeah.
And killed myself.
Well, it just so happens that
Which is still
being
possible.
a complete loser makes you funny though, bro.
Well, yeah, I mean, not a complete loser. That's a misconception. A lot of comics are like, my life's so terrible. It's what, like, your life shouldn't be terrible. It should just be funny, you know? And making it less terrible should be funny.
So do you think that there's a sweet spot for how much of your act should be self-deprecation? Because whenever I go to see stand-up, like at least 30 to 50% of it's just people talking about how shit they are. You know?
Well, a lot of people just think that everybody should care about them a lot, and like I don't really think that's
what a
true.
deep quote.
Like I don't care about most people, to be honest.
Yeah.
Let alone myself enough to, I like talking about myself if it's funny. But people just think and CBC, CTV, they want comedians to talk about themselves, especially if it's like, do you have an immigrant family? Are you thinking about, you don't know who you are? Are you a boy or a girl? Like, they want you to talk about all the woke things, and most of them are about yourself and your own relation to it.
Right.
And I've had that feedback from people who run. There's like a fucking truck backing up right now.
We're in the heart of Toronto, buddy.
Jesus Christ. Is your window open? Am I seriously not allowed to smoke cigarettes in here if the window's open? If it's that loud? They probably can't hear it that bad on the recording.
Yeah, fuck it.
But anyway, too many comics try to make their whole set with the goal of, I want to be on CTV, I want to be on CBC. And there's a whole bunch of comics that just went on CTV for this new show called Roast Battles.
Oh, yeah? They got that bad. I like Roast Battles, but I've never seen the fucking CBC version.
Well, I mean, it goes without saying that it's going to be bad.
It's going to be PG, right?
Well, it's not going to be super PG, but the comics, it's also embarrassing because the comics are so excited to be doing anything that for them it's like, oh my, they're like, so I'm on TV. You know, it's like, be professional here.
They're not keeping it together, right?
No, they're just too excited, and you know, it's just awkward. Like, one guy was like, posted a picture of him on that show, and he's wearing a Speedo and shit. Like, it's very like, why can't we just have stand-up comedy?
So they're trying to build up the story of the character before they do stand-up, so that people have some kind of an emotional attachment to them and are more interested to hear their jokes. Like, is that the point of what they're doing?
I don't know.
I'm trying to see why they're...
All I know is there's a garbage... all I know is there's a garbage truck. There's like a dead body being thrown in a garbage truck outside of the window.
Yeah.
You can actually hear the bones crunching as they pull the lever.
Yeah.
Those are the real heroes, by the way. Nurses, terrible people, all of them.
Garbage men are fucking underrated, bro.
Dude, fuck the nurses.
Dude, garbage man is actually such a sick
We should
job.
let the garbage men be nurses, and then... Are they vaxxed? Like, do people care about if the garbage man's vaccinated? Nobody's worried about that.
I don't think so, bro.
Vaccinate the garbage men. They need to be, like, anyway.
I don't think garbage men even give a fuck about the recycling either, bro. I've seen them take some shit that has, banana peels in the blue bin. Like, they don't care.
They love it. They actually eat garbage.
Here's a conspiracy for you.
But here, wait. I want to finish that point, because otherwise your listeners are going to be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Is this Jew talking about? Yeah, they want you to talk about yourself because it's safer to talk about experiences than opinions. They rather you do jokes about, my mom growing up used to beat me, even if it's horrible. I was raped, and they're like, ooh, good, yes,
experiences.
You're already broken in for Hollywood.
Right.
No, but I'm just joking. But no, but they. They want you to have those, I grew up with an immigrant family, I was bullied in school.
So that shit must sell.
It doesn't sell.
It doesn't sell.
Nobody watches these fucking shows. They're all over YouTube and Netflix. All these woke comedians talking about themselves and their experiences, and then my dad, and then my mom. Nobody cares, in my opinion. Okay? Look at Dave Chappelle's early specials. He talks more about himself now, which is more interesting because he's a fucking celebrity.
Yeah.
It's not interesting to hear
And
the
he's jacked
story
now,
of some
too,
random. And next we have random guy, and I was fat, and then I was a Muslim, and I was also gay, and then okay, we get it.
Russell Peters?
Yeah, that was actually Russell Peters' show. Point is, they don't want you going on stage and doing a bit about Trudeau, or talk about any type of political, or they don't want you making fun of the situation, even though the situation, it's an elephant in the fucking room. They're like, even though there's a fucking pandemic happening and there's all these crazy new laws and all the politicians are kind of being scary and terrifying, we don't want you to talk about that. We want you to talk about how you were fat in grade 9. Like, who cares?
Right.
Anyway,
overcoming
so
insecurities.
if you like this, my podcast, I do talk about myself, but I find it.
Well, I feel like the
My
whole
life's probably
model
more
of cable is fucking dying anyway, man. Like, how many friends do you know that actually have cable?
I don't have any friends that, in general, but none of them have cable. They don't even have internet. My friends probably they're like on a shared internet
They're
plan.
all fucking garbage, man, eh?
They're all dead. Actually.
So what's the censorship like on YouTube for comedians in your experience? Because that seems to be like your shit.
I mean, Can we kill these garbage? What are they doing out there? They're just banging garbage bins together.
Bro, they're fucking hitting drums out there.
Censorship online is bad. I mean,
Yeah.
it's bad.
Well, you got fucking zucked, bro.
Yeah, I had my account deleted. I had my Instagram deleted at 10,000, 12,000 followers. And it hurt a little bit.
Yeah, that fucking sucks.
I wasn't like upset about it. I was more pissed off. And then they make you like take a picture of yourself on Instagram. Like Instagram makes you do this. They make you take a picture of yourself, hold up. Basically, it's like a mugshot. Like they basically make you incriminate yourself, and they're like, "Please send us your ID and your full name and your address." So it's like once they comb through all of your hate speech, they can show up to your door. And
perfect for the social credit score.
yeah,
bro.
it's all. If you build it, they will come, and that's what they've done. They've completely built a system where it's so easy to just deny you access, cut
doing
you
that with
off,
Ubers
fuck up
too,
your
eh?
business.
Remember that? Where you had to have your fucking mask on before you could get into an Uber?
Yeah, they did that for like a week, and then they realized like this is stupid. Like,
Yeah.
what are we doing here?
That's crazy.
Half the Uber drivers are like, living in a 300 square foot apartment building in Scarborough with like 3 wives and 15 children.
Yeah, I don't think they care about a fucking mask, bro.
No. They don't. I don't wear a mask in an Uber. I get in. I find that if I don't wear a mask somewhere, I'm actually treated better than if I didn't have a mask. And you know why? Because they can see your fucking face.
Yeah.
And if you walk in somewhere with your face out and people can see you smiling and interacting, they're like, "Oh, this guy's cool."
Dude, so many people took visual communication for granted when it came to like conversing since the fucking masks came out. Like so much of how we communicate is the bottom half of our
At
face.
the end of the day,
It's
wearing
crazy.
a mask is unattractive, especially for men. For women, it's great because they all think they're ugly, so it's great that they can, cover up their face. But it's a bit of a, kind of pseudo-religious thing where it's like, I want to cover, I don't want any. It has more to do with they don't want anybody to see their face than it has to do with, a fucking protection from a virus. If you're walking around in a park with a mask on, you're just a fucking insecure loser
Yeah.
who wants to cover your face because just like me right now, I'm an insecure loser who's covering my eyes with a fucking glasses because I want to look all around the room instead of just looking at your camera and at you in like a really
Bro, it
super
looks
gay
cool.
way.
It looks fucking cool. Put them back on. Come on. What are we doing? There we go. Yeah.
My point is cover your eyes, not your mouth. With the stupid cloth. Do it if you got to. What, are you going to the hospital or something? I mean, I guess.
Bro, I made a prediction a couple months ago that people, even after all this shit's over, which I keep saying like it's going to end, but it keeps going on, man. I mean, even if you're quadruple fucking vaxxed, you still have to wear a mask inside. It's crazy. But to the point of masks, I feel like people are just going to keep wearing them in general.
Yeah,
like, it's
well,
a
'cause
way
they're
that
losers.
they can hide themselves,
People are losers.
It's like a hoodie for your face.
The funniest thing that you just said is like you still have to wear masks even if you're quadruple vaxxed. And it's so true that people who, Jesus Christ, fuck, my brain's working on like overload.
Somebody's
to-
getting fucking
to move.
obliterated outside right now by a dump truck.
I wish we could just like take a camera and like show what was happening out there for 1 second.
One day, once this shit starts making money. So 2025.
What the fuck was the question?
I don't know.
No, we know. Masks make you a bit quadruple. Oh yeah, there was some guy at my show once, and he goes, "I'm in favor of vax passports." This was before it happened, and I was like, "Why?" And he was like, "Well, because then we won't have to wear the mask." I'm like, "You're an idiot. You're a fucking idiot. Like you realize that." Wearing the mask is the reason why we have vax passports. If nobody wore the mask and everybody was like, this is stupid, I don't give a fuck about these rules at all, then we wouldn't have this problem. But we have this problem because we have too many people who like being told what to do. We have a generation of people who just want to be fucking whipped and have some sadistic fetish for being told what to do. I see it all. Like, look at the faces of like. You ever see like a girl who's like kind of attractive wearing a mask outside with that fucking face? She just has this face like, I'm wearing a fucking mask. And it's like, what's going on here?
That's a fucking kink, like mask fucking.
Well, they're like, I'm doing what I'm told. Why don't you do it? Everybody, we need to do what we're told. Like, why?
That's weird, man. Ugh.
And hot chicks don't find it attractive to be prancing around in a mask. Believe it or not, no good-looking girls going, oh my God, he's so safe. He's so safe. It's like being called nice. It's like he's such a nice man.
Ooh,
he's
yeah.
a nice boy. No, yeah, he can't fuck you properly. You need a guy, no mask, choking, head in the fucking pillow. What are we doing here? You want to be fucked? Does a whole generation of women want to be fucked slowly with a small dick with a mask on? I mean, after they've been triple vaccinated and showed their vax pass to each other? I mean, this is pathetic.
Yeah,
Get a
dude.
life.
Fuck, man. So to segue back to what you were saying about the
This is
comedy
why I'm
show.
not allowed on CBC, by the way.
Yeah, well, fuck CBC, man.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck you, CBC.
Not CBC, actually CTV.
Fuck you, CTV.
CTV's run a bunch of fucking hit pieces on me
They're
over
all
the years,
terrible.
so they don't like me. The thing is, there's a bias
Shout out
between
Rebel News.
negative headlines, bro. There's something about when we see a negative headline, we're like, fuck, I got to look at that because it's a fight or flight response in our body. So we see some bad news, we're like, ooh. But we see some good news, it's like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, good news now it's like who gives a fuck because when you see good news, you're like, Jesus, okay, thank God. Like, it's like a relief.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You know, like when I saw that Southwest was shutting down the airline, all their flights
Yeah.
to protest the fucking vax thing, I was like, thank Christ.
What's the last good news you saw?
That Texas is never going to allow any kind of COVID mandates. There is good news out there in terms, like, depending on which side. If you're on the other side, you're like, that's their terrible news. How can the governor of Texas be so irresponsible to not fire thousands of people from their jobs because they didn't get a fucking, like, shut up. Those people think that news is terrible. We think this news is terrible. And I'm not really like on either side necessarily, but I'm on the side of stop being a bitch. If you get COVID and you die, you deserved it. You have a weak immune system and too bad. I'm immunocompromised. Nobody cares. Okay. Nobody ever cared. And now some people care, but all the wrong people care. Although we've empowered the losers. That's what we've done. If you walk around, you see people who used to kind of be just walking around like this, and now they're like, yeah, that's right. I'm a fucking butt ugly loser, and I have power now. And that's scary to me because that's not the way to go.
Do you think there's a correlation between being an incel and wearing a mask? Do you know what incels are? You ever heard of those guys?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Fuck.
Is that your audience?
Yeah, most of them. Most of the guys watching right now.
Yeah? Isn't that the guy, like the virgin fucks a hooker or whatever show that you did?
Dude, you know what's really fucked up? When I did the Virgin Squad series, man, incels actually hated it because they essentially thought that we were making fun of them.
Purity.
Well, no, they thought we were making fun of incels by taking a guy out and getting him laid.
Well, I don't think incels have a very good, they're not really like the incel mafia. It's not like the woke mafia. Like you're not going to get canceled by incels.
No, but some of them are dangerous, man. Those are the guys that like hurt other people, like they drive cars through crowds and shit.
Yeah, well, that's always going to happen.
Yeah, it's
once
too
in
bad.
a while.
Bro, when you're talking about
you need a car to
good news
drive
and
through
bad news,
crowd.
fucking like good news to me is like Green Day is going on tour and they're going to hit Canada or something like that. I don't remember the last time I saw a fucking good headline.
What are you, like
that.
14 in 2007? Like,
bro, in 2007 I probably was like 14. Yeah.
Green Day's on tour, Mom. Can we get tickets at the Air Canada Center? What was it? Sky? Yeah.
Bro, I fucking love Green Day, man. I love rock music, dude.
Yeah.
Do you like rock music?
I like rock music, but sometimes you listen to rock music and it's just a little. Like, I feel too white listening to it sometimes. Like, say it ain't so.
Weezer. Yeah.
Or I don't even know what song.
Yeah, that's Weezer. That's fucking Weezer.
No, it's not. It's Blink-182. It's like pretty.
Say it ain't so? That's Weezer. That's fucking Weezer.
It isn't. Say it ain't so. I will not.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Turn the lights off.
They literally have a song called Say It Ain't So.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's even worse. If you're in the car listening to songs that are on Rock Band or a Guitar Hero, like, you need to fucking seriously possibly take your own life.
Do you still listen to the radio at all?
Only if like my phone's dead and I'm
desperate times.
I hate the radio is also a source of like anger for me. Like if I'm listening to the radio and they fucking put on one of these, they have the most crazy ads. And you can't see them. So it's almost like evil that they put those ads on. Because if you're just listening to the radio and it'll come on and it'll be like, my mother died because someone didn't wear a mask or some shit like that. And you're just like.
They're playing shit like that?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
The radio ads are way fucked up.
What the fuck, man?
I can't do radio. And the problem with the radio is they play the same. It's like what is working at a radio station? Plugging in your phone and playing a playlist? Like, are you fucking kidding me?
That's what DJs are.
Yeah, well, they're all it's not a job. It's not a real job.
Dude, I used to love listening to the radio because I couldn't
music.
listen to other music, man. I had a beater car. Did you ever see that car?
Maybe.
When I came to do your podcast?
Yeah, maybe. What was it?
Bro, it was a fucking 95 Nissan Sentra. Just
Wow.
a piece of shit. It had a cassette player to aux, but I hit a speed bump and it just stopped working. So I was stuck
That's
with the
pretty
radio.
crazy because you have like 900,000 subscribers on YouTube. So like people just see you and they're like, is that the guy that I love?
Bro, as long as a car gets A to B, then it's fine for me. But that
Not
shit
true.
actually
Not
exploded
true.
and broke down. So I have a
If
new
you
car.
have a nice car, you don't even need a nice place.
You think so?
Yeah. Because you
Dude.
could just drive a nice car to like, it's like, that's why all the trap lords have fucking nice cars. You just,
I used to be
once
a
you
fucking
get to their
trap lord.
house, you pick the girl up in the nice car. By the time you get there, she's like, whatever, I don't care. It was nice. It was a nice ride.
Well, I do have a new car because the old one essentially
Yeah, it's
exploded on
nice.
the
I
highway.
like your car.
But yeah, I have a low-key tinted window car now, non-identifiable. The other one was, there's a
Now
broken
you look
window.
like an actual drug dealer. Before you looked like an addict.
Yeah.
But now,
Working my way up.
I have a drug dealer car too.
But bro, the thing about having a shit car is like it's a good test for girls. Like if you're chilling with a girl and then she sees your piece of shit car and then she starts like treating you differently, then it's like, all right, well, you're saving me a lot of time right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I need the car to look good.
Yeah.
We need that. Otherwise, I'm not taking any risks. I'm not like, do you like this? Is this okay? And
I
I
wouldn't
live with my
want-
mom too, so I gotta.
True,
Well,
okay.
not anymore. I gave her away.
Are you gonna clean that place now?
Yeah, I gotta clean the whole place out.
Man, that was the most disgusting fucking bathroom I've ever been in, bro.
Well, that was my bathroom.
I
That
know.
wasn't even her bathroom.
I know.
But that was just because we partied there, and I think I like took a bad shit and like.
Bro, there was 40 cigarettes.
I put cigarette
in the
butts in the toilet
the
because
sink.
I have a fan in my bathroom, and that's where I smoke because I hated living with my mom. Now
Bro,
now I can just smoke in the whole
There was
house.
piss all over the seat, and then
Was there? That was not
rolling
me.
papers over the top. So you're rolling a joint while you're pissing.
Well, yeah.
It's fucking genius.
I think that was more just like a space saving move.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was the washroom was a bit of a disaster. But anyway, that's been cleaned. I got professional Filipinos and whatever else to come in and
You hired people, eh? Fuck yeah.
yeah, specifically asked for Filipino. No, actually she wasn't. She was Indian and she was afraid of my dogs.
Fuck, dude.
She was like, "Can you please make your dog go out of the room while I clean your toilet because it's very scary." I have like a Shih Tzu.
Really? She was scared of that?
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, please, I will leave."
Man, I used to manage student houses, and it was all Indian Punjabi students, and man, I wish they cleaned really well, but they did not, bro. Always a mess, man. I was always scrubbing the fucking toilet bowl. It was rough.
Well, she was a cleaner. Like
Right.
She wasn't just. I didn't just find an Indian off the street and bring her in. Just ask my Uber driver, "Excuse me, do you want to clean my house?"
yeah.
No, yeah. So
She was paid.
Anyway,
Yeah, yeah.
she's in Saint-Jean. Driving a nice car is nice. I'm gonna sell my nicer car, and I'm gonna be on your level soon. So
Bro, just go to the beater, man. Honestly, I wouldn't
I
even
have
want
a beater
fucking
too.
car.
I have two cars. I have a nice car. And
What's your beater?
It's like a Toyota
What year?
2011.
That's not a fucking beater, dude.
You need
2011.
You need worse than that,
Bro.
That's 10 years old,
That's nothing, dude.
dude. 10 years?
Bro. Does it have Bluetooth?
No,
Okay.
it doesn't have anything. It doesn't. It has aux cord and a fucking CD.
It's got a fucking aux cord, though.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about an aux cord in a car is you could just plug in headphones.
Really?
Yeah.
Who the fuck would do that?
Somebody who drives a 2011 Toyota.
Bro, that's so fucking dangerous. Can you imagine if you were driving with headphones in all the time? You wouldn't hear shit.
We can't smoke in here, eh?
No. You're hurting for a dart already, eh?
Should I?
You know what? If he smokes, I need to smoke too. 2 darts?
Oh, fuck.
Fuck yeah.
Holy shit.
You know what?
This is
Smoking isn't
amazing.
cool, but it looks cool. And that's
just-
the only reason I smoke. These are little darts.
You know what's funny about that is like if I had just bombed and been unfunny this whole time, I feel like your producer here would have been like, "Nah, you can't smoke."
Can you still smoke on stage as like a performance art? Is that a thing?
Some places, but not generally.
Yeah. What's stand-up comedy like now in this new fucking era of Ontario?
Well, I run a lot of my own shows. I have to do a lot of my own shows.
Yeah.
For multiple reasons. I mean, I work with Yuck Yucks, but I'm not super impressed with how they've dealt with all this vax passes and stuff. You know, they got to go by the books. I get that. But on the other side, it's, you know, even the censorship, like certain clubs, like I did a Yucks club, and then they got mad at me for making a joke where I said to kill all the nurses. And, you know, I thought what I thought was a funny joke was apparently one of the guys who owned the comedy club's like family was all nurses. So he was like, he can never come back. And I'm like, that makes no sense. I mean, who gives a fuck if you're family of nurses? This is we're doing comedy. When you go to Yuck Yucks, it says whatever the comedians say, like it's uncensored and like you can't like get a
Yuck
refund.
Yucks is like the last frontier of comedy, right?
But they're still at risk of people coming in who are new, running the clubs, and they don't understand that it has to be like that. But anyway, so I run my own shows right now. I'm doing a secret show at a secret location in Toronto.
Like a tent going on or some shit
no,
like
it's
that?
it's like a bar.
Allegedly?
It's like a legit bar.
Yeah.
Allegedly. And it's if you want to buy tickets, benbankus.com.
Yeah.
And you can buy tickets. We're doing it every week.
What's the vibe like
until I disappear from this country?
You know, previous. You know, how people sitting apart from each other. Is it weird? Do they still laugh as much? Or?
Well, it depends, because like at my shows, we kind of just fucking do it, right? And a lot of the people coming are like my audience from my Instagram.
So
I was getting more tickets when I had 10,000 followers, and then now I'm back down to 3,300. But I'm still selling like 25 tickets. This past weekend, we sold 60 tickets, 2 nights, 30
That's
tickets
sick,
each.
Yeah.
Each night, Friday and Saturday. And we just do it like pretty much how it should be done. And if you go to the Yuck Yucks clubs, I mean, it's not that much worse. I mean, there's a little bit of spacing between the people. They take a few chairs out, but it's pretty much the same.
Right.
The only issue is like people have been inside this whole time and they've gotten used to cancel culture, and they think they can just now go to a establishment and be like, I didn't like what he said. He should never be allowed to work again. And it's like, sorry, no, that's not actually how it works. So there is a bit of that. But generally, like when I was in Niagara Falls, even though I got in trouble, I was murdering the whole weekend. Like they were loving it.
Niagara Falls is loose, man. It's run by the fucking mafia. When you got casinos and Ferris wheels, you know some shit's going down.
Yeah, it's
behind closed doors.
It's not the most.
No.
That's what it is. But you know, comedy has always been mafia affiliated. From
since Prohibition, buddy.
Since comics were doing whatever, the Copacabana in New York City and shit like that, and the Lenny Bruce and those guys, they all and then Rodney Dangerfield, and they all did comedy with paid for by fucking mobsters until they really hit big and did Johnny Carson. Now the only thing you can do is get on Rogan, right? Like
so how balls deep have you gone into like comedy, because I always wonder. I know some comedians probably never listen to it, they're just funny, like the odd Theo Von guy, and then some people, they research it, they learn how to be funny based on already being funny. They kind of like
I don't think you can really learn how to be funny. I think you can, but it's like anything. A boxer practices a move. I saw this on a Netflix documentary, so I'm like quoting a fucking
analogy.
I'm quoting like the intro to a Netflix documentary. It looked boring and I didn't watch it, but this is what it but when you practice something over and over again, it will create like muscle memory. But the problem is a lot of comics do a lot of comedy and they just suck every time. So they never actually get better. But I've been doing this for 10 years and yeah, like you start out, you're not as funny, but you're still a funny person.
Right.
And then you kind of learn how to write jokes and stuff like that. But it's not really like going out and learning. It's like you said, just listening to a lot of comedy. Like I listen to all the Richard Pryors and all that bullshit and, fucking George Carlin and then Steve Martin. Like I know the history of comedy pretty well and all the comics that came before me. And I think that's interesting in whatever you do. Like you should know the history of like for you probably know a lot about like other YouTubers and like what their stories and no, you don't know anything.
Not really, bro. No.
Okay, well that's why
I'm a bad example of that.
Well, you need to brush up.
No,
you know
really.
you could. Name 5 other YouTubers that you know.
Canada, United States. What do you want? You know
Just
what?
like
I'm gonna shout out some obscure channels too. Give love to those guys. My buddy in Australia, Greedy Boss, he used to do fucking drunk interviews out there. Australia used to be super loose, man. They were awesome. Let's go Andrew Santos from Vancouver. He does mountain biking shit, which is pretty dope. my buddy Brad Lancaster, Discover Connection. It's kind of like Yes Theory. They do really cool
See, you
videos.
fucking know boring shit about YouTube. Right?
Shout out to all the boys. What do you think about the 10,000 hour rule? Like, do you think that applies?
Yeah, it applies to
comedy?
everything. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't even know if I've done 10,000 hours. I probably have.
10 years, bro. That's 1,000 hours a year, bro.
What's that? Like an hour that's, yeah.
Yeah, it's like 3 hours a day. You know what's fucked up? The average time people use their phone is 5 hours a day.
I think it takes 10 years to get good at comedy, and then I think the 10 to 15 is where you kind of have to like you have that chance to like make your career happen. And then once you're 15 to 20, if it's not like if you're not fucking killing it at that point, I think it's time to.
Do you just get like one good set and you tour locally? Is that what happens? Is that the trap? Because I've heard something like that. Like
What do you
comedians
mean?
that have one really good hour and they just hit the local spots and they never really go past that.
Well, yeah, I mean, comics in Canada, like they get families and then they go on welfare and then they don't do anything and then they're losers.
Well,
But
that's,
yeah, you gotta.
that's the weight of life, bro. As you
If
get
you guys
older,
want to
it
support
starts
me,
to
go
weigh
on
you down.
Patreon, patreon.com/benbankus, or you can sign up for my website,
Dude,
benbankus.com.
So how exactly did you get your Instagram back? Because I know a lot of
didn't.
people that are getting their shit deleted. No, but like they can't even make a new account. Like they're totally out.
really?
Yeah.
Well, I already had that account, so it just never signed me out of that one.
Oh, do you use like different email or some shit?
No, it's the same. I think it's like under the same thing. So I don't know how that's happening.
Yeah, what exactly did you do to get kicked off?
They didn't tell me.
They just
Gave me a bunch of warnings, like a bunch of times. Like at one point, I said like on 420, I was like happy 420 / Hitler's birthday because it's also Hitler's birthday, which I find funny because everybody just smokes weed on Hitler's birthday. And they were like flag, like you could be deleted, and then I don't know, like I had
You're
a few.
fucking Jewish, bro. Yeah, I mean you have
Instagram
like a
doesn't care.
golden pass. That's
Instagram
crazy.
doesn't care.
Dude, they have a gender thing on Instagram now, right? Like he, him, zer, skur, whatever. Do you think that eventually they'll have a religion or race?
No, they
heritage?
don't want people to be religious.
No religion. What about the other shit, bro? Like skin color. Do you think that's ever gonna happen?
They'll just do the he, her, him shit, and because what are you gonna do? He, him, black. They're not gonna have that.
Yeah.
Because then they're already segregating people on so many levels. It's just fucking embarrassing what's happening out there. It's embarrassing to hang out with people who believe that they're, if you are a left-wing person, no offense to you, but the whole left wing was built on like fuck the system, like like renegade, like hippies, and now it's follow the rules, do as you're told, and don't question anything. Listen to the people who are above you. They know what's best for you. It's like, what are you talking about? I mean, you don't have to be right wing to just be like, that's fucking stupid. The people who are running the countries do not have people's best interests at heart. Otherwise they would like stop taxing us and just pay for. They're already going to debt. Why do they need our money?
That's so interesting.
They're spending money that we haven't even
income
gave
tax.
them yet.
Do you know why we have income
They're spending
tax?
like our tax money for like till the day we die. It's already been spent like 10 times. So why do they even need the taxes? Just to be like, well, we still have our income here. It's like it's a failing business. Every Western nation is like a failing business right now that's just so in debt and pretending like everything's fine. And all the big companies that run our countries are basically, doing so much business with China that it's that
I was about to say, bro, China's laughing right now.
Well, Amazon,
China's getting ready.
dude.
They're coming.
Twitter just took down a bunch of people who are critical of China off of Twitter.
Bro, China literally, does China even have fucking Twitter?
They have like Weibo or some shit.
Yeah, what the fuck? They don't have Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, nothing.
They have their
don't even
own,
have Google.
They have their own versions of them that are like heavily censored.
Yeah.
To the point where, and if you tweet something or Weibo or whatever the fuck,
Weibo.
and you say like, I don't like the government, they will like, you won't be able to get into stores. Like it'll fuck your social credit up.
Yeah.
So that's what's probably going to happen here, and people will love it. People
I have a
will
Chinese
love it.
buddy, and he says the reason everybody's coming to Canada and buying real estate here is in case shit goes sour in China. They can just hop over to Canada. That's the idea.
Yeah, well, that, and they're trying to get like all of their family citizenship.
Well, yeah. In case shit goes sour in China. Like, Canada's their backup plan.
Well, yeah. I mean, what do they consider going sour?
I don't know. They're getting there slowly, though. They're
We're pretty
implementing
sour in
weird
2020.
laws, bro. Weird laws.
Dude,
Like video game restrictions?
Wuhan is not a real place. That's all I know. It's a fake place that they made up. I'm pretty sure Teresa Tam is also a made-up person that was made at the Wuhan lab of virology. I'm just saying that, they already had a fucked up period. It's just going to get worse everywhere, realistically. And until more people like the CEO of Southwest Airlines, who came out and said, look, we didn't want to do a mandate, but Biden literally made us do it. More people need to come out and be like, this is bullshit, because it's not. And the people going, but what about the virus? Guys, the issue is that we're going to go down a very dark path if we keep doing vaccine passports. It doesn't have much to do with the virus, considering you can't, from what I understand, you can't spread the virus asymptomatically unless you're vaxxed. But that's something they didn't know before. So before, they used to go, oh, asymptomatic spread is possible if you just in general, right? And that's why we had lockdowns. We had lockdowns because of the fear of people who weren't sick were going to spread the virus. And now we're saying you cannot go out and do activities unless you have this vaccine, which will make you asymptomatic most likely if you have COVID. So what are we doing? It makes no sense.
What's the timeline, Ben? Like, what do you think is going to happen in the next 6 to 12 months?
I think
it's going to progressively get worse, or you think, you know what?
I think it's
New Year's Eve, everything's open.
I think if there aren't more companies that stand up and more employees that stand up, it will just get to the point where it's like Australia, where everything's just illegal and you can't go 5 kilometers from your house. And when you say this to woke people in Canada, you're like, what about Australia? You can't go 5 kilometers from your house. They're like, yeah, it's bad, but like they don't see what's going on here. And it's just depressing. Toronto seems like an empty city. Yeah, it's a huge city with tons of traffic and nobody's walking around. Like, there's people out with masks on doing their little shopping. But this is the thing. A lot of these fully, these people, once we get everybody, the fully vaccinated people who haven't gone to restaurants the whole pandemic because they've been afraid, are now going to start spending thousands of dollars at restaurants. Not true. Because they're all losers who all they want to do is fucking sit at home and steam broccoli.
Bro, restaurants are absolutely fucked right now.
They're
like,
fucked.
Hamilton's a ghost town. I think like half of the fucking restaurants shut down there.
A lot of
bars, clubs.
Yeah.
Comedy clubs, I'm amazed they managed to scrape by.
A lot of restaurants are just doing business as usual, and those are the ones that are going to survive because people are going to walk in, vaxxed or not, and go, wow, nobody hassled me.
Well, they already have very low margins to begin with, man. Like, a well-run restaurant only makes 8 to 10%.
Yeah, and they want you to hire an extra person to check everybody's vax status, and then they're allowed in, and then what? Like, are these aren't big spenders?
What's the thing too? Like,
these are savers.
I had a buddy that's on fucking government money, as they like to call it, and he's making about $500 a week. Yeah, and that's essentially what you'd get paid working a minimum wage job at one of these places. So there's very low incentive for people to go back to work in the first place.
Yeah, and people are tipping less because things are more expensive, and now all the waitresses and waiters are getting like whatever it is, $14 an hour. They used to get like $7 an hour plus the tips, but now they're doing all the tips electronically, so it's much harder for them to get cash. So they end up being fucked because they get taxed. The whole incentive to be a waiter or a server is that you get tax-free tips and you get cash.
Tipping's fucking weird, bro, to be honest. I'm actually seeing it in way more places than it used to be. And it's going to get to the point where we tip on everything. We're going to start tipping on Netflix.
Sometimes I buy a pack of cigarettes. I'm like, do I need to tip this guy? But like, tip me, tip local artists, tip local comedians, local creators. Fuck all these servers, honestly. That they sat at home making syrup and now they're back and they're like, sir, please bear with us. We're very short staffed. I don't even want to be here. I don't want to give anybody money that's perpetuating bullshit If I want fucking Korean food, I'll order it and get it to my house. A lot of restaurants they have no choice but to do only takeout and have less staff because they can't afford to pay anybody to be a waiter at all.
No.
So
you're tipping on that too.
This is the problem, that all this stuff is true, and then but the government won't like have the conversation. Like there's certain people in the government that will ask a question, and then the people on the other side are like, well, actually, first of all, I'd like to thank our first response. Like, they start thanking the nurses and, by the way, we're on the native land. It's like, we asked you a question. Answer the fucking question. You're like 3 minutes into the answer. All you talked about is fucking the Mississauga tribe. I mean, this is ridiculous.
I heard some shit about, I think it was NDP, talking about how they're going to solve the housing crisis. But then one of the guys, he was like actively buying and selling like
they're
6
gonna
houses
give everybody
on the market,
turbans.
bro. You think that's what the plan
Yeah.
is?
Like, just wear a turban. It's all solved. That was my joke before with the Sir John A. MacDonald. I was like, just change it to Jagmeet A. MacDonald and give all the fucking statues
What
a
do you
turban.
think they're going to rename Ryerson? Because that school has lost its
The
name.
Teresa Tam School of Wuhan Virology. I don't know.
Yeah, bro. Fuck.
They-
You know, it'd be a cool name. My buddy said they might call it X University. Just.
Oh,
X.
yeah. That's great. That'll look good on a resume.
I think it would look fucking cool, bro.
Well,
X
no, they would be like,
University?
oh, you're from the university where all the kids were trained to like take down the establishment name and ruin and cancel culture. Like, fuck you guys. Like, I wouldn't want to hire. If I was had a company and somebody came to me with Ryerson University, I'd have some questions. Were you part of any clubs at Ryerson University that may or may not have
I had a
tried
buddy
to
that was in the
ruin the
conservative
school?
club. They shut down the conservative club.
Right.
Yeah,
Everything was shut
gone.
down. The only thing you're allowed to do at Ryerson University is wear a burqa and complain.
You could film pranks there too.
And you can cut your dick off as well. It's very progressive.
They do that there?
Yeah, all the washrooms they actually don't even have doors to them. There's just toilets in the hallway. You can just shit anywhere, piss wherever you want. No, they don't have that. But that's where is that
Well,
where
it's
we're
downtown Toronto, bro.
It's
That
pretty-
happens anyways.
But yeah, the wokest school, Ryerson University. When you hear Ryerson, you think woke, and then they're like, actually, I think oppression, and that's why we changed the name. It's like, fuck off. Go work at one of the newspapers that you get for free in the subway. It's fucking losers.
There's still newspapers being sold? That's fucking crazy.
They're free in the subway every morning, Metro, and then a bunch of fat chicks with glasses are writing for that, going. Like, I tried to watch the Britney Spears documentary the other day, and it's just 2 fat lesbians made it, and I was like, this sucks.
Bro, what I loved about that was the because you
Not because they're lesbian, just
No.
because they sucked.
No, but like the acting.
And they were
in it.
lesbian.
So like you make videos too. You understand like the schematics of like, okay, we're gonna go over the case here. So we have all these photos and we have like little sticky notes that says, oh, and like they're pretending like they're actively investigating it in front of the camera.
Yeah. Oh, you watched it?
I
Part
saw
of
the
it?
first half of it.
Yeah, I
put it on
watched the first
background.
half of it, and then I was like, once I saw and Britney Spears is she's just whatever, like, who cares? I know she's talented, but is she that special? Is she really that special that we're so sad that she train wrecked her life because she fucked some brown dude after cave fed or like, who
What?
cares?
That's what happened.
Pretty much. Maybe
Dude, I
I got
remember
further
we were
in the
halfway
video.
through, and my buddy was cooking in the kitchen. He's like, "Bro, when is she gonna shave her head? Like, we're halfway through already. No head shave."
But you saw that. It was just 2 fat chicks who were like, so our entire lives have been about tracking this woman's like career. It's like, ugh.
Yeah,
Just the fact that your life's
one
so
chick
sad
got
makes
put
you
on
not want to
Britney
watch
duty,
this.
bro, from a magazine. That's what I remember. She's like, I don't even like Britney, but they made me just take it over. And dude, that was such a crazy like time where people's job was to just follow celebrities with fucking cameras. Like,
Well,
it still happens,
It
but
still happens, but now it's so easy to get a
different,
photo.
bro.
Like,
Yeah.
then the photo wouldn't even go online. It would go to like the tabloids, and like they were paying hundreds of thousands of dollars
Yeah.
for photos.
I think some picture of a fucking newborn baby went for like $2 million or something. It's like
Of
Angelina
hers?
Jolie's baby or some
Oh.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a cool job if you get $2 million for a fucking picture, but
Yeah, I don't think that
I wouldn't
game
want to do it. I
exists
just think
anymore,
all
bro.
the like American traditional celebrityism is dead. Nobody gives a shit about what quote unquote celebrities, J-Lo, Brad Pitt.
Bro, you still see those magazines at the fucking convenience stores. Though. What's up with that? Do people ever buy
Old
those?
people like it.
Man, that's crazy.
because they grew up with it. But our generation is just like, who gives a shit
It's
about
for like
J-Lo?
a dentist.
Who gives a
office
shit about
or some
Jennifer
shit.
Aniston? Or, we don't need tabloids to know what's going on with our celebrities.
always the queen.
Nicki Minaj talking about your balls shrinking because of COVID. That to me, that I don't need to read People magazine. They don't even put that in People magazine. That would be interesting if they were like, Nicki Minaj says balls shrink. Jamaican whatever, they or Trinidad or whatever.
What are you talking about? This happened?
Yeah, like
thought you
Nicki
were just making
Minaj
shit
has
up.
a cousin in Trinidad and took the vaccine, and then his balls shrank, and then his wife wouldn't marry him because his balls were all tiny, and then she got
What?
flagged for misinformation. She got like banned for Twitter for a bit.
Oh my god,
And she's got like 30 million or so many followers.
dude! What the fuck? Well, I guess I'm not missing out by not watching the news. That is some nonsense right there.
Twitter is the news, and that's the thing: is Twitter and Instagram. You don't need to read a magazine or a newspaper. Like old people read fucking newspapers. That's why they're all stupid, because old people watch TV and read newspapers. They don't know what the fuck's going on. Of course they're dumb. They're like, did you hear? Everything's like horrible. You're like, shut up. You're old. Die.
I actually remember.
Can the older people die already? Like, what are we doing here with the whole, protect the elderly? First of all, they want to die. The elderly don't want to live. The world's way more fun without them, to be honest. We got right before the pandemic, all we talked about was how are we going to pay for all the medical bills of the boomers? Then this thing came. Remember, people were calling COVID boomer remover, and then they're like, no, but we need to protect the boomers.
That's
even though
a
we don't.
wild name.
And then
Boomer
we went
remover? That's a band name
And then
right
we
there.
spent like 100 times the amount of money we would have spent on all these old people's getting healthcare needs as they aged on. To pay your buddy $2,000 a month so he can get $500 a week so he can stay at home and jerk off. All I'm saying is the old people, they have all the money. Our parents' generation, they have all the money. They bought houses for like 50, 100, max $150,000 that are now worth $1 million, 700,000, more than that. Fuck them.
They had it good, bro.
They don't, and our parents' generation's like, well, if you work hard and you study, you might be able to afford nothing. You'll afford nothing. Give me your house, bitch, and die, and leave me in the will. That's what I'm saying. Is we're done with this shit. The old people can't even watch this because they don't even know where do I click, and I'm scared, and I thought I deleted my Scotiabank. Shut up. It's done. If you're listening to this and your parents are over 60, get a fucking power of attorney signed ASAP and drain the account and throw them in a fucking senior's home.
The government's gonna take that money if
That's
you don't
my
get
rant.
that, eh? Yeah, that was a hot take on old people, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck. I'm
kidding.
I hope. Allegedly.
Don't kill anybody.
Do you ever worry about that, like getting dementia when you see it in others? You're like, fuck, man.
Yeah, but I think that our parents, like these people getting dementia, a lot of them did not learn to do. They
You're
didn't
gonna say take care of yourself as we fucking,
what,
smoke
darts?
cigarettes and drink Coca-Cola.
Well, I don't mean take care of yourself necessarily as much as I mean keep your brain active. Like they didn't play video games. All they did was watch CNN from the age 50 to age 70, and they're like, how come I have dementia? Because you demented yourself.
I know a couple of very sharp.
You sat
old
at home
people,
and you drank
but
fucking
they're like
liquor.
farmers, They're
They
not
drink
exposed
beer.
to all this negative shit.
Well, old farmers, I mean, who gives? Yeah, they don't.
See,
They're busy though. They're
That's what I
working
mean.
with
They're working with their hands all day.
They're thinking
Yeah.
normal little tasks and organizational tasks. It's when people who work their whole lives so that they could retire to do nothing, and then they get dementia or they get sick, and it's like, yeah, because you retired, you worked your whole life to sit on a fucking couch and watch TV. You're a loser. You're a loser. You should have retired and traveled or got a new hobby or learned how to use the friggin' computer properly or like my mom didn't even know how to use, wouldn't even learn how to use Uber Eats for years. And I was like, just learn how to do it. And I'd install it in her phone. I'd show her what to do. And then she'd just go, it's too much. It's too complicated. I mean, of course you're going to lose your mind. You didn't try to not to. So I think our generation is going to be pretty cool. I think we're going to be like 70, 80, and we're not even going to be like that old, as old as our parents were, because we're going to be up and with it. But of course
I'm waiting to play video games when I'm an old man. When my body gives out on me, just get like a nice room with a huge fucking big screen. All my other buddies, they're all going to be, borderline disabled. They
I had
can't
a
walk
girlfriend
anymore.
once who did that. An ex of mine, her dad was like 70, and he sold his company, and he just had a like a
theater, like a little home theater.
Yeah, home theater, and just played COD all day.
That's fucking sick. See, that's
what you gotta do.
That's when you play video games. When your body can't do anything physically, it's like, fuck it.
I
COD.
can't play video games for longer than an hour. Like I used to be able to play like a video game for like 7 hours when I was like in high school or whatever.
Oh, yeah, like Halo or some shit like that.
Grand Theft Auto. I don't know. I was big on Grand Theft Auto. I played sports games. I'd do like the whole NHL season in like 2 days. You know.
Are you a big hockey fan?
Big hockey fan? Well, no. Sorry, I just wore this jersey and then you.
Bro,
Warriors.
I was gonna say me too. I don't fucking
even like
know anything
hockey.
about the
I think
Maple Leafs.
hockey players are all stupid. I think basketball players are way smarter than hockey players. Like every interview, first of all, half the basketball players, actually way more than half, like a high percentage of the basketball players graduated like really good universities because of basketball, but still they're educated.
Right.
These hockey players, they're like their whole life was riding around on a Greyhound bus from fucking Barrie to Belleville, and fucking eating pig roasting chicks and.
Fair enough.
They're idiots. But I like watching idiots
Bro,
fight.
this is the sickest fucking jersey out of all of them, though. Like the Maple Leaf logo, I love it.
Yeah,
it's
I love
dope.
it. I was
blue
always
and
a
white
Leafs
colors.
fan as a kid, but then they always sucked. So I just
You should recreate that iconic photo of the
But
guy
I'm a degenerate
that had
gambler,
the
so-
Toronto face paint with the dart in his mouth. Do you remember that guy? The fucking
the guy who threw shit on everybody.
No.
Oh,
There's a couple guys that do that, I guess. No, there's this dude. He was at a Toronto playoff game, and he painted the Maple Leaf flag on his head, and he had a dart hanging out of his mouth. Yeah, that's a fucking iconic look.
yeah.
Like Braveheart style.
People go, it'd be so great if the Leafs won. Like if the Leafs won, it would just first of all, it'd be when the Raptors won, everybody was on the streets. If the Leafs won, it's just a bunch of white people running around.
Bro, if the Leafs won, that would actually solve one of your dilemmas, which would be all the old people dying.
They would all kill themselves.
No, they wouldn't kill themselves. But statistically speaking, there was an incident, Boston Red Sox, maybe it's the White Sox. I guess there's a couple fucking baseball teams. But after they finally won a championship, after like a 70-year dry spell, there was like a 45% increase in deaths amongst men over the age of 80 years old. Basically, guys were staying alive just to see their team win. And then they fucking died a month later.
Yeah. See, that's dementia. That's a sad life where you care about something like that. I like watching sports. I like betting on sports. It's fun to bet on sports. I'll set up 2 TVs and watch a bunch of games. But I'm like number 5. I don't know any but their name. You know,
I did that a bit in high
their
school.
names
Like
are.
parlays. Parlays used to be fun.
I got a couple big parlays this year. So
Yeah, you can do any kind of betting now. Like you can mix sports.
you could bet on a Russian esports game and parlay it with like a Dodgers game.
Bro, that sounds fucking sketch. I would not want to be the company giving those payouts.
Dude.
An esports game?
Shout out to Bet365.
Fucking esports.
You can bet on people playing like NBA, NHL, two whatever.
How can that even be regulated though? I feel like that'd be so corrupt. Like
'Cause
some guys like, whoops, my controller disconnected.
Esports, it's like at a place. It's not just like 2 guys playing from. It's like
Oh, it's regulated, I guess.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude,
I didn't even know that
is
existed.
Huge.
Wow.
Esports is bigger than regular sports. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure there's more money in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Dude, like even the Fortnite and shit. Those
Yeah.
guys are making like $500K a month.
Wow. Well, I knew that. I know those guys make money. I also knew in Asia they have these fucking
Asia, they have like stadiums.
gaming. They have gaming places. You can go and just sit in a chair for 12 hours.
They have like
a day.
stadiums the size of fucking the biggest stadium you can think of for 2 guys to sit up there with computers, and then they put their
Do they cheer and shit?
Warcraft. I don't know. I don't know if Asians make noise, but
Bro, well, actually, in
they do.
Japan, when there used to
They
be
cheer.
like, I don't know if you ever watched Pride, like MMA.
Pride was that gay MMA?
No.
Pride MMA?
No, I think they had the name Pride before Pride was,
Oh wow.
yeah. But they were the most educated fans. Like they'd be watching a fight and they'd be dead quiet, and then as soon as something happened, they'd all be like, "Oh!" Whereas in America, people just scream every time a punch is thrown.
Yeah.
Totally different vibe.
Dude, I can't even watch any American. Like I just watched Squid Game.
Bro, I'm on second episode.
Okay,
It's
well,
interesting.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna ruin it for you. No, I'm just-
Oh, here we go.
no spoilers. But all I'm saying is that after watching Squid Game and watching Asian people with dubbed voices doing like over the top like facial expressions,
Yeah.
I can't watch I can't watch The Walking Dead now. You know what I mean? Where it's just some bald white woman being like, "Whoa!" Like I'm like,
Oh,
ugh.
fucking Carol. She's
I want-
still around.
I only want. I only can watch TV if it's Asians with dubbed English voices
You know what? When we were watching
after
it,
Squid Game.
my buddies at the house, we were talking about it. Some people watch it in Korean with the subtitles. Other people watch it with the English overdub. But apparently, it's better to watch it in Korean because you can actually like, you know, the way they say the words, it's more accurate to the emotions they're feeling. I don't know, some kind of shit like
I don't
that.
speak Korean. I'm like, you could really tell when that guy said that he fucking meant it.
Yeah, I was like, wow, that's fucking pretty
Dude,
deep.
I like it where their mouth doesn't even match up and like the voice is clearly like not
like
even
old
him.
samurai movies.
Yeah.
Do you remember MXC? Remember
Hello.
that show on Spike TV?
That's what it's like.
That shit. I don't even think that shit can be allowed anymore.
It is Squid Game. Squid Game is amazing, dude. They just murder people. It's just Asians getting murdered. So if you're like it's good for everybody. Racists, progressives, everybody can watch it.
Squid Game's basically North Korea. Eh? That's what's going
Basically,
on over
no.
there.
Well, yeah, I don't know. It's I think no. Squid Game is basically what rich people do, like, and I mean like billionaires do. I'm pretty sure they hunt humans and stuff.
You know, I actually wanted to do something
Like that.
kind of fucked
You
up.
wanna hunt
Not
some-
like Squid Game. No. But once I'm a billionaire, or one day, I don't know, I find somebody that is a billionaire. We set up a fight between a gorilla and a bear. Okay, and pay-per-view. All the money goes to fucking saving the populations of bears and gorillas. So that way, like, there's a positive result to it, you know, because otherwise it's pretty much animal cruelty.
I don't know if they'd allow that, but that's why they do everything private. Like they would do, like they wouldn't have to raise money. They would just.
Well, they do hunting, bro. Like, the only reason that animals are alive in Africa and many parts of the world is because they grant hunting licenses, and the money that rich dudes spend to go and kill a fucking lion is what keeps
I'm
the
just
park
saying that
regulated.
they wouldn't be able to televise it, and then just get other billionaires to go fund it.
One time, bro. Just one time.
Dude, they do it. They already do it.
Where?
What do you mean? In
No.
Africa, all over the fucking place.
Bro, I've never
They
seen
like
a gorilla
kidnap.
versus a
They
bear
kidnap
fight.
like little Mexican and like girls at the border, and then like put them in a forest, and then like chase them. And so, I don't know. They do all
What?
kinds of
No,
billionaires.
I'm talking about animal
Epstein
fights. though.
Island.
Animal fights, bro. I'm just talking about animal
You know how
fights.
many animal fights probably happen on like these like crazy properties, like fucking Bill Gates' house
How
and
the
shit?
fuck are they keeping that so low key then?
Money?
Oh man. Yeah. So Bill Gates is shedding out millions of dollars to
Wait
watch
until you
animals
watch
fight.
the rest of Squid Game, and you'll be like, once you get to the end, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, they do this.
You ever seen Battle Royale?
That's like what Hunger Games is based on, right? I've never seen it.
I think so. Yeah. It's an Asian movie, overdubbed, and they have an island, and a bunch of people go there, and then they're just all killing each other.
Yeah,
Same idea.
yeah. That's all I watch now is Asian death.
Yeah.
It's my only.
It's a
category.
big niche on Netflix right now, bro.
Yeah, they love it. Netflix is like, okay, here's another one. 4 Asian guys, they join a game and then they all die.
Do you watch Ozark? You ever seen that show?
I watched the intro for. I don't like shows.
No.
I'm just gonna put this out there. Squid Game is the first full show I've watched since like Breaking Bad.
Really?
Yeah, and I watched all of that like probably 7-8 years ago.
What if I told you Ozark is at the same level as Breaking Bad?
I heard it's good, but after watching Squid Game, I need a rest. But I'll probably end up watching Ozark tonight. It looks cool. I hate the end of an episode, and I go, I'm gonna keep watching this now for 6 hours.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
what
3
the
seasons,
fuck is wrong
bro.
with me?
There's 3 seasons.
It's too much. It's too
Squid
much.
Game's
for me.
what, like one season?
Just one season. I can do
one
a season.
Yeah.
I can do one season. I watched Stranger Things, and I was like, this is fucking stupid.
I hated Stranger Things.
It's
man.
just annoying.
I just didn't get it.
All those kids are terrible.
Yeah, it was just weird. I don't
They're
know.
all bad.
That's a background
at
show.
acting.
That's like a show you put on in the background when you're doing
They're
some
pretty
other
good,
shit.
actually. I watched Bates Motel once.
Couldn't get into that shit either.
But
bro.
I hate when like you watch something, you're like, why is there going to be another season of this? Like, we don't need any more of this. Just say what happened. Just end it. Write the ending. I know, money, but like that's why everybody has
Well,
to
you know
get
what?
wear a
Ozark
mask.
is so good. I'm so fucking hard on for this show that I wish they made more seasons, but they only have one left, and they're ending it.
Yeah. If there was like a Holocaust document or like a Holocaust sitcom, I'd watch that. That'd be good.
Yeah, what year do you think that's going to become allowed?
2033.
Is there a
I
correlation?
think we're gonna
you
go
think?
back. I think we're gonna swing woke. So and then the pendulum's gonna go back, and we're gonna be like,
Yeah, there's going to be a correction, right?
we're all like regular. Like CBC is gonna be taken over by the PPC, and all like
That'd be fucking
I'm gonna
wild.
be the artistic director And I'll be on there being like, all right, say China. Make fun of Chinese people.
It's going to be fucking weird, man. Like,
everybody needs to be made fun of. And, I mean, white people need to be made fun of because they're just too annoying right now, and they're causing the country to be a shithole.
well, you said something earlier. It actually resonated with me. You're like, people on the internet, all they do is bitch and complain. Essentially, the internet is people that aren't doing things in real life. Like, that is the internet. When you're not doing something in real life, you're doing something on the internet. But it goes into that negative wormhole of piling up on others, right?
But all I do is complain. It's my whole job.
Well, it's a good job. Somebody has to do it, bro.
You need to complain, but like, like it's different to complain to be funny and then to just be like, everything sucks, blah, blah. Like, I don't know, fuck those people.
Well, it's ironic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I complain about the people who complain.
Well, it's a good year for you, I guess. Like, business is booming, man. If shit wasn't all fucked up as far as like content for what you do, like your impressions are spot on of like Dougie and all that.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I try to do my thing. I just make fun of what I think needs to be made fun of. And, like I said, I put my mom in a home. So the last like month I've been a lot like busy just dealing with that. So I've been able to do as many sketches and, my podcasts on Patreon. So like, I'm just kind of getting back into this. So like, I'm literally shedding a human, like, cause I like took care of my mother for 3 years when, when we found out she had dementia and all this stuff. And it's like shedding someone.
Right.
I'm like rid of her. Love her, but it's too much. She's too much. It's too much.
Do you ever look at old people?
You shouldn't have to
and just think that they've been old forever. Isn't that a weird feeling?
I mean, you look at some old people and you're like, they good. They're doing all right, But some people get old and they just become depressed about it, and they just feel sorry for themselves. It's like getting old should be fun in some ways.
People live longer when they have a mission to complete, bro.
Yeah.
When they have something that they're still working towards. Yeah. Retirement's the biggest killer, dude. Mm-hmm. That's why, like, I don't know.
I'll never retire.
When I'm old as fuck, I'll drive a cab. I don't care. I'll just go work on a farm.
Oh, those people are annoying.
Just stay busy.
I hate people who are like, I'm retired, but I want to drive Uber. You're like, ugh. You're taking money away from a poor Indian man.
Yeah, you think they should just do it for free, eh?
They should just check themselves into like the end,
or become the fucking the guy that holds the sign on the corner after school. What are those guys called? Crossing guards?
Pedophiles. They should just get old. Like, I think old people at like 70 should have to go back to school, like a new type of school, to learn how to be old for the next 20 years, so they don't bother their kids so much.
Bro, it's not a bad idea.
The government should teach them how to use the phone, how to how to be part of. Update them on all the shit they don't understand so that they can enjoy the last 20 years of their life. So they know how to use Netflix. So they know how to fucking read the news on their phone, and they're not stuck being losers.
I think we only have a couple more generations of those people, though. Like anybody born after 1970,
done with the boomers.
I think has figured it out.
Sorry,
I think that was
boomers.
like the cutoff point.
All the boomers did was ruin everything, and then like they were the ones who were complaining. Like they're the ones who fucking go on Yelp.
Do you have any boomer fans? Like fans that are fucking 65, 70?
Yeah, probably. Not a lot.
No?
No.
I can't figure it out.
The majority of my fans are like 25 to 35, I think.
That's the sweet spot.
Yeah.
Got to please them. Fuck.
Should we end this? What are we doing?
We're getting pretty close.
What are we doing? We're at an hour 10?
Hour two? Man, you just went off the fucking rails straight away. Just hot take after hot take.
Ask me anything, and then we'll get out of here.
Okay, buddy. What's some advice for upcoming comedians in Toronto?
Oh, my God. Kill yourself immediately.
Bit of a loaded question, eh? What's funny? This podcast...
The best thing that could happen is you end up on CP24 as a statistic.
That's rough, bro.
Here's the advice. Don't take advice from comics who don't make any money. Don't allow yourself to be bullied by people who tell you what you should say. Just say what the hell you want and then you'll meet the people who are like-minded to you. Because when I started comedy, all these woke comics that are in their like 40s and 50s now, they were not woke like 10 years ago or whatever when I started. They were mean. They were mean to open mic comics. They're like, you suck. Now everybody's about inclusion and being inclusive. That doesn't make you funnier. Okay? Being like, okay, guys, let's be kind. And I'll be honest, I put a lot of different types of people on my show. I don't want to use the word diverse, but it is very diverse, and from every angle in terms of, you know, all the shit, race, gender.
Lots of makes shit interesting, man. Little boiling pot.
I have
but when you
disabled people on my show. I
Really?
mean, yeah.
fuck, man.
So like, people want to in the Toronto community. You'll be like, Ben's an evil racist. It's like there's literally people of every race and gender on my shows. I never discriminate. I let comics who aren't even that good do my shows with packed houses so they can get better. And you know, then you have the places like Comedy Bar in Toronto where it's like woke comedy rules, and all these guys, most of the shows are like
Woke comedies are like when they snap or whatever?
It's when they
slam poetry.
It's when they try not to offend anyone.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
The main goal is not make people laugh. It's don't offend anybody. And then making people laugh is like secondary. Where for me, I don't care if people get offended because who cares? Fuck you, people.
It's good for business for you, eh?
Some woman was offended. Some Karen was offended. Her husband was probably a fan and brought her to my show. And I was doing the joke about Kobe's dead daughter, where I was like, you know, at least look at the bright side. At least Kobe died knowing his daughter died a virgin.
Whoa.
Yeah, which I find.
You went there.
Yeah, well, it's fun. I mean, I'm joking, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I know it just sucks because now she's got to like blow a suicide bomber or whatever.
Fuck. There
Right,
it
like
is.
it's an offensive joke on many levels, but it's a joke, and we're in a comedy club, and this woman's like, no, too far, and I'm like, and then I was like, let me see what you look like, and I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
What do you think about bashing other comedians? Do you
I don't think that's fun.
No.
Like you want me to bash someone?
No, but I'm just curious because, you know, once you're in a certain role, right? Like, you know,
I try not to bash anybody like publicly. Like I have my opinions about people, but I don't really give a shit. But it does feel like the other side of comedy that I talk shit about more so their atmosphere that they create and not anybody in particular.
Because there's the old Gary Vee saying that, well, he probably took it from somewhere, but, you know, either you don't want to tear other people's towers down, you just want to build the biggest tower. But as a comedian, your job is to make fun of things.
Yeah, but also Gary Vee's a loser too. He's just like a little short little. No, I'm just tearing him down.
Bro,
he's like a
Gary
billionaire.
Vee's my phone screen. Low
Yeah.
key.
Oh,
No,
really?
it's not.
No,
I met him though. He's sick, dude.
Look,
He's a great guy.
I think that it's okay to make fun of other comedy atmospheres and like the culture of comedy. But what I think is not cool is like if I went out of my way to try and get people who I didn't like their comedy or didn't like what they're doing, try to get them canceled, which I would never do.
Ooh,
Whereas
like blacklisted?
Well, I can't really, because what would I do? Be like, they're all being woke and not offending anybody. Like, you know,
Yeah, you're not.
I guess
really
I could
in a
just
position
talk
to do
shit
that.
about specific people and
You'd
like
be in
try
a
to.
position for them to do that to you.
Of course, and they do all the time, right?
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
that's fucking toxic.
Yeah, like a lot of comics will. Like I did a show at Yuck Yucks for the PPC because my dad's friend was running for the PPC and he asked me to help him with a fundraiser. He really liked my comedy. He saw me on Rebel News, whatever. I'm like, cool, fine, let's do it. I'm getting paid. So I suggested, considering I've been doing a lot of my own shows, I wanted to bring some business back to Yuck Yucks.
Right.
So I said, hey, guys, can we rent the space out? So they got in touch with the guy. They rented the space out. We did the show there. And right before the show, there were comedians tweeting out, like, of course Yuck Yucks is doing hosting a bigoted political party comedy show with comedian Ben Bankus, who, you know, and they're like, I'm like, dude, I actually got them business. They didn't book this, and then he's like, there's some comedians on the Yuck Yucks roster who haven't even gotten a spot yet. I'm like, dude, I'm not taking that away. This is on an off night. There was no other shows this night. I'm bringing them some money for
PPC
rentals.
PPC gets a fucking really bad rap.
They get a bad rap, and I get it. And I make fun of the PPC in my own act in front of the PPC and to other people because the
PPC can take a joke.
They can take a joke.
Yeah.
I made fun of. I went to a PPC rally and it was so boring, and I did stand up there and I go up and I was like, this is so pathetic. Like, you're gonna lose. Like, this is pathetic. I was like, you know what? This is such a bad rally that I'm after this going to Shoppers Drug Mart and asking for both doses at once because I don't want to fucking be associated with you people.
Just right in the ears,
right?
eh?
Yeah, and they laugh. They get it. They're like, and I was like, you know, the PPC's run by like holistic medicine women who do holistic medicine at home and have yoga mats, and it's funny and they laugh, but they also appreciate that, you know, you can make fun of something but see the value in it.
Would you ever host a roast battle? I know it's out fucking
I'd love
nowhere.
to.
Yeah,
I'd love
because I
to
know
do
you
a
say there's a roast battle
non-woke
that's going
version.
on TV, right?
Oh, yeah.
I have a buddy in Alberta that's a comedian, Uncle Hack from Danger Cats. Super funny dude. You'd get along with him really well. He's been doing roast battles lately out there, and they get pretty fucking wild.
Yeah, I know Brett Forte in Calgary. You probably knows him.
Yeah,
and,
it's with that guy, I
and
think.
Sam Walker, and they do roast battles. I'm not huge on it. Like, to me, it's like it's a fun once in a while type of thing. But people have been working on their stand up for a decade or more,
Right.
And then they're like, you know what? Fuck that. Just make some stupid jokes about this guy, which in a comedy club setting is fun and stuff like that. And I get on TV, but again, we had that show. Remember your Mama or whatever, and it was like all about your mama jokes, and it was like you had to roast each other. That was like on MTV like years and years ago.
I got something you can give a fucking opinion on. Happened a couple months ago. Man, I'm surprised I even fucking remember this. Tony Hinchcliffe said some fucking joke, Chinese joke, something like that, and then they took the clip out of context, posted it online, and then he was getting canceled for a minute. I don't know what happened with him. I don't know if he's
what
back.
happened was the guy who was hosting the show, who like has like not that many followers and is basically a nobody, was filming his own set, him hosting the show, and then he kept filming when Tony went on and like shared the video. So like not cool on many levels. And also he was doing all these like the Asian guy was on stage talking about how white people are this and white people are that, and then so Tony goes on and goes, give it up for the filthy chink or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was, everybody was laughing there, and I think that pissed people off even more, because if he went on and bombed, nobody would care. That would be enough revenge for the comedian. Look, he bombed saying it. But what pisses a comedian off, a woke comedian, is when they get laughs at somebody's expense. How dare they make fun of someone? You can't make fun of someone or something. You have to make fun of blah, blah, blah. So he kind of got canceled. He kind of didn't. He had to move his location from Anton's in Austin, Texas to the Vulcan in Austin, Texas.
Else, eh?
So he got canceled by the venue.
Yeah.
And, I think there is some, stuff that he may or may not have lost some work, but I don't think he lost that much work. And I don't think he got canceled. But
it's kind of hard for a comedian to get canceled.
There were comedians
no?
tagging
like
me when
and
he
shit.
was getting canceled, being like, if you think this is bad, you should see what Ben Bankas in Canada is doing, making fun of Theresa Tam.
Oh my God.
And I was
bro.
like, and I actually saw the guy who tweeted that, and he's like, it's not you, it's the people who want to watch this type of stuff. I'm like, dude, let people fucking watch whatever they fucking want to watch. Like, stop trying to be like, it's not you who's doing it that I'm mad at. It's that, how dare you have an audience? It's like, that's what comics are mad at about with me, is that I created an audience over COVID. A lot of them will be like, oh, you wouldn't have had an audience if it wasn't for COVID. I had already had my videos shared on SixBuzz before COVID. And I gained like thousands of followers from that. So I was on the up and up either way. But COVID was like, nobody's talking about this or that, and I'm going to do it. And
right.
People want to hear it. People want to hear somebody who actually has an opinion and isn't just like everybody wants to talk like a politician. I'm going to do a sketch soon about people doing regular things and talking like politicians, like going for a coffee, and they're like, so what size would you like? And I'm like, well, first of all, I just want to thank you for being here to serve me this coffee. And
all sizes are equal.
Acknowledge that we're on the native land of the Haudenosaunee tribe.
Yep.
And although I'd like to say a medium, I want to leave the option open for other sizes of coffee that I might want in the future, and not deny anybody that right. And the guy's just like, what the fuck? Like, because that's that's how people talk now. They're afraid to say their opinion.
That's fucking weird.
When I was walking here, I know we got to wrap up in a sec, but I was walking here, and there were some high school kids waiting at a streetcar stop, and they got on the streetcar without masks on, and there were this like woke couple with their bike, and they're like, did he just go in there without it on? And the guy goes, I think there was a few of them that didn't have it on. And I looked at them, I go, good. And she was like, oh. And I'm like, pharmaceutical companies got us by the balls. And she's like, well, everybody has us by the balls. And it's like, so what's your argument here? You want everybody to fuck you? I mean, what is this? Like,
God has everybody by the
how
balls.
about if we believed in God more, and we're more conscious of all the fact that it's so rare that we're even alive, it's so rare that we're able to be in Canada, or that we're born here in this time.
Big Gary Vee fact: the odds of being born a human, 400 million to 1.
Yeah, I think it's 400 trillion actually.
Trillion?
I think it's trillion.
Jesus Christ.
400 million. It's 400 trillion to 1.
Imagine if you were born a fucking water bottle,
right?
Or a tree.
Right. Well, you'd have a better life.
There's a fucking soul in that cup that can't say anything.
But if we believed in God and had some, you don't even have to believe in God, but if you just go, wow, something good happened to me today. There is a higher power that would make society better. But we don't want to believe that. No, there's no higher power. It's all my decision. I'm cutting my dick off. And it's like, okay, and are you happy? No. So what the fuck?
Are you snipped?
Is my dick cut off?
No.
Yes, I'm transitioning. I'm going to be on CTV Roast Battle next week.
What's the shit? Circumcised, yeah.
I don't disclose my medical information.
That's going to be on your mandate app, eh?
That was probably a good place to cut it. If you got it.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked in a way. Like, it is fucking genital mutilation, bro.
Yeah, you might as well on your Vax Pass say, there should be a picture of your penis, a drawing, those drawings that they do, like for phys ed.
Forensic.
Yeah, like
in court.
They should just have you naked, like the Da Vinci thing. Da Vinci thing like this.
Yeah, the fucking spread eagle.
Yeah, I don't think things are gonna get better, but when they do, people will be like happy to hear what I have to say. There's a lot of people who are happy to hear what I have to say now, but I think one day people are actually gonna go. Generally, I think we're gonna get past this woke nonsense, and we're gonna get back to something will set us straight. Whether it's war. Another fucking
new thing to throw stones
at. If another fucking disease comes out of Wuhan, we're gonna start being like, okay, now no, we're done with this.
Imagine if a
bullshit.
disease was like 1%.
When Wuhan, when the virus started, nobody gave a shit about woke culture for months. All people were doing is tweeting fucking Chinese people eating bats in bowls and
what I don't even remember what people were talking about before Schmovid hit, bro. It just
Kobe's death.
Was that it?
Yeah.
When was that? It was like February? Fuck, man.
It was on Holocaust Remembrance Day. It's another reason nobody cares about the Jews.
I thought that was 420.
No, yeah. Hitler's birthday is Holocaust Remembrance Day.
Dude, I had a buddy recently went to, he has a buddy that's Jewish, and he went to a Jewish holiday. And apparently they let kids drink booze there. That's what he was saying.
Yeah, Italians do that too.
Yeah,
Not booze, but like wine.
So he was also saying that like Jews have a different timeline for like how old the earth is. Like they think it's 5,000 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not how old the earth is. We know that even Christians know that the earth is not 2,000 years old.
Yeah. I tried going to church like a month ago. I just needed to be around people. I'm like, man, this is the only place where I could feel like a normal human with like 150 people
Jews,
in a room.
Louis C.K. has a great bit about about the Christians won because what year is it? It's 20... whatever, like it's
right.
2021. What does that mean? 2021 years since Christ was born. He's like, so we won because even like in like all these other countries, like New Year's comes around, it's 12 o'clock. They're like, happy 2021. Like they're celebrating that year of Jesus since Jesus. And then the Jews are just secretly keeping track. It's actually 5,700.
Jews are really fucking smart, man.
They can be. Yeah, they can be also criminals too.
Well, crime and intelligence go hand in hand, man.
Sometimes, yeah.
Real quick before we wrap up, I heard one of the reasons that Jewish people essentially end up in way better positions financially and economically, and I guess they just do better on IQ tests and shit, is because from a young age, they're essentially reading a lot of information on a daily basis. Like they're forced to read and study some kind of manuscript.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't do any of that. I'm still kind of smart. I don't know if it's that. I think it's more just like thousands of years of that. And like the Jewish religion itself is based around laws, and a lot of the laws that the Jews wrote are why our countries aren't falling apart right now, because of Judeo-Christian values, which are used to be a pillar of Western democracy. Now doesn't really fucking matter. But Judeo-Christian values, Jews, the Torah is essentially the beginning of the Bible, right? It's the first, the Old Testament is essentially what Jews studied and created all these laws for civilizations that came to have, along with Christianity and the other, moral compass and all this kind of stuff. So without that, we would just be killing each other, like straight up.
Yeah, it'd be the Crusades all over again.
Yeah.
Eh? What do you got coming up?
Well, follow me on Instagram, at Ben Bankas2, BenBankas 2. Also, Ben Bankus 3, because they took away Ben Bankus. They deleted me.
Just in case.
You can go to my website, benbankus.com, where you can find my podcast, the Ben Bankus Podcast. It's on Spotify, Apple. You can support me on Patreon, patreon.com/Ben Bankus, or you can go to my website and find it there. Tickets for shows every Friday and Saturday. I'm doing secret shows right now for the next few weeks at least, because I might be
allegedly.
I might be some other alleged things might be happening. So at least the next 2 weeks.
Yep. Ben Bankus 4, everybody.
And that's at benbankus.com/live-shows. So you can go to my website, and that's pretty much it. I mean, fucking watch my videos on YouTube. Support the channel at Ben Bankus Comedy on YouTube. And thanks for having me, dude. I appreciate
Congrats,
this.
bro. You're the first comedian on the show.
Well, good.
It's ironic because I have
love
another
to come
podcast
back.
I'm doing that's supposed to be just like, funny, stupid stuff. And then this is supposed to be like,
The serious one?
doctors, scientists, leading experts in their field.
You have 2 podcasts right now?
Yeah, the other one's coming. I'm working on it. But yeah.
Just do one.
Dude,
God.
I like the idea of
I
getting
thought of doing 2.
comedians. Well, no, like, think about it this way.
Rogan has comedians, and then he also has
Oh, no. This one's
scientists.
still going to have comedians. It's more like people that are experts in their shit.
Oh,
you know?
the other one's going to be more topic-based, like you want to bring up stuff. And
Yeah, the other one's going to be the same 2 or 3 people all the time, just giving hot takes pretty much. This
True.
is like new person each time,
Cool.
But yeah,
Cool.
dude.
Thanks,
Fuck
bro.
Yeah. Ben Banks, everybody. Thanks for watching. We're on
Peace.
Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Hit us up on Instagram at Jack Denmo Show. Drop a comment who you want to see next. They have to be in the Toronto area for now, but drop some worldwide guests as well. Love you guys so much. See you next week. Peace.
Bye.